It's midday. Good afternoon, midday news on OGBC. I am Debo Adeyinka. First, the major items. The federal government is taking new measures to address insecurity. Just as southern governors back state policing, the Kenyan contingent has departed for Haiti to help combat criminal gangs. The government at the center has drawn a roadmap for tackling the various security challenges being faced in the country. President Bola Tinubu announced this on Monday at the opening of the two-day Northwest Peace and Security Summit held in Katsina. President Tinubu explained that the roadmap, which will include a series of military and non-military measures, will go a long way in complementing other efforts by the security agencies in tackling the menace. Represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, the president informed that the non-military measures being deployed by the federal government include police reforms, enhancing policing efforts, promoting community dialogue and peace building, as well as investing in the youth. Nigeria remains committed to a balanced approach to energy transmission and still requires substantial investment in the oil and gas sector to meet the energy demands and economic needs of its population. President Bola Tinubu gave the assurance on Monday at the presidential villa in Abuja. President Tinubu called for a just energy transition that supports vulnerable communities across the nation, highlighting the importance of balancing the mutually beneficial shift to green industrial growth and energy with the immediate energy needs of Nigerians. He also highlighted strategic projects across different sectors embarked upon by the current administration to stimulate economic growth and reiterate its commitment to sustaining the ongoing economic reforms and measures to stabilize the economy. The federal government has urged states and local governments to scale up environmental health surveillance in places where food and drinks are sold nationwide. The Minister of State for Environment, Dr. Isiaq Salako, who gave the directive in a statement on Monday in Abuja, mentioned the places to include markets, garages, schools, restaurants, stadia, religious and sporting event centers. Dr. Salako explained that the measures would help avert further spread and transmission of cholera, as well as aid in the prevention and control of the disease. He also urged all commissioners for environment and the local government chairpersons to support environmental health officers across the country to step up sanitation and hygiene activities through enhanced community-led total sanitation. Authorities in Abuja have reaffirmed commitment to providing affordable, quality, and ideal homes to civil servants through the Federal Integrated Staff Housing FISH program, domiciled in the Office of the Head of Police of the Federation. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemieson, said this in a statement by the Director, Press and Public Relations, Mr. Mohammed Ahmed, in Abuja on Monday. According to Dr. Yemieson, the move is in line with Pillar 6 of the Federal Civil Service and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025, as well as the Renewed Hope Agenda Cities and Estate Program of the current administration. She explained the cost of housing to income ratio makes it practically unrealistic, especially to purchase houses of their own in these times, but the FISH program aims to address this and other challenges. In line with the stand of most governors in the Federation, the main man back home, who is also the new chairman of the Southern Governors Forum, Prince Dapo Abiodun, on Monday, said that the region wants state and community policing to further tackle insecurity. Governor Dapo Abiodun said this on a television program after emerging as the chairman of the forum. According to him, his colleagues from 16 other states are also backing fully state and community policing. He added that this was part of the decisions of the Southern Governors Forum, in Abeokuta, which held meeting in Abeokuta, explaining that state policing were crucial to the development of the country. You're listening to the news on OGBC 90.5 FM. A contingent of Kenyan police is set to depart for a controversial mission in Haiti to combat the influence of powerful criminal gangs that have brought turmoil and violence to the Caribbean nation. The president of Kenya, Mr. William Ruto, held a ceremony on Monday bringing luck to 400 officers who will arrive in Haiti later this week in a United Nations-backed initiative, the first contingent out of the 1,000 police that Kenya expects to send. President Ruto, in quotes shared by his office, told the officers that the mission is one of the most urgent, important, and historic in the history of global solidarity. He added that it is to affirm the universal values of community of nations, and it is a mission to take a stand for humanity. President Ruto and the United States have welcomed the effort after months of debate over how to address the spiraling violence in Haiti, where gangs have expanded their influence and brought violence to civilians. The European Union is to formally launch accession talks with Ukraine and Moldova after the bloc's member states gave their note last week. The start of negotiations will be marked by a ceremony in Luxembourg this Tuesday, but the process is likely to take years and be tough. The opening of talks will give the pair and what turned Ukraine in particular encouragement to continue on their path to leave their Soviet past behind them. The agreement of the bloc's 27 members was secured last week despite effort by Hungary, whose government maintains close links to Russia to block the move. The ceremony this Thursday afternoon will be followed by an arduous process with negotiations only set to start in earnest after EU has cranked their legislation to assess the reforms needed to meet the bloc standards. There is no guarantee that the talks will ultimately lead to EU membership. Russia has blamed the United States for a barbaric attack on Crimea that relied on US provided missiles and killed at least four, including children, and wounded 151 others. Russia's foreign ministry summoned US Ambassador Igor Tracy on Monday and accused the US of waging a proxy war and said retaliatory measures would definitely follow. Since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022, Moscow has persistently claimed that it is effectively fighting a proxy war with the West. Speaking to reporters on Monday, U.S. Department of State spokesperson Mr. Matthew Miller said that the U.S. provides Ukraine with weapons so that it can defend its sovereignty, and that Tracy conveyed regret over any civilian loss of life. Israel kept up its bombardment of Gaza this Tuesday after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the intense phase of the war was winding down as the United States urged its ally to avoid further escalation along the Lebanon border. According to the Hamas-run territory civil defense agency, Israeli forces launched more deadly strikes with 13 people killed across two schools and a home hit in Gaza City. With Israel planning to redeploy some soldiers from Gaza to the Lebanese border, U.S. Secretary of State Mr. Anthony Blinken on Monday pressed the country's defense minister not to allow the violence to spiral. There has been daily cross-border fire between Israel and Lebanon's Hezbollah since the outbreak of Israel-Hamas war on October the 7th, with fears growing in recent weeks that it could turn into another major front. Israel's military said its warplanes hit militant infrastructure in the Baalbek area of eastern Lebanon. Thousands of Lebanese and Israeli civilians from the border areas of their respective nations have been forced to seek refuge away from the fighting in recent months. On sport, Frenchman Gael Monfils defeated Australian wildcard Dominic Thiem 6-3, 7-6 to reach the second round of the Mallorca Open. Monfils, ranked number 40, will face Roberto Bali's Bina next. Italian Luciano Darderi, the number 5 seed, won against partners Pedro Martinez 7-5, 7-5 to also reach the second round. Darderi, ranked 37, will play Austrian Sebastian Hoffner next. In other actions, Kazakh Alexander Shevchenko defeated Constant Lestrini 7-6. He will now face number 4 seed Alejandro Tabilo. Security is central to the society's development. Contribute to ensuring a secure society. midday news and other look at the major items. President Bola Tinubu at the opening of a two-day Northwest Peace and Security Summit in Katsina on Monday said the federal government was taking new measures to tackle insecurity. Also on Monday, the Ogun State Governor and the chairman of the Southern Governors Forum on a television program after emerging as the chairman of the forum, Abiodun said the region backs state and community policing to further tackle insecurity. We also told you that a contingent of Kenyan police is set to depart for a controversial mission in Haiti to combat the influence of powerful criminal gangs. The midday news was edited by Tony Oyelumade and broadcast from OGBC Abeokuta. For exclusive programs and the latest news updates, please visit our website www.ogunradio.ng.